Imagine sitting at your desk, ready to work, and suddenly your brain throws a tantrum. Wait, maybe watch one video first. Check Instagram. Ooh, a meme. 3 hours vanish and your task is still untouched. Sound familiar? That's procrastination in action. But here's the kicker. Your brain isn't lazy. It's a survival machine. It's literally wired to avoid discomfort. When a task feels boring, stressful, or overwhelming, your brain treats it as a threat, triggering the same regions that react to physical pain. So instead of facing that threat, your brain distracts you with anything that delivers instant dopamine. Social media, food, games, daydreaming. That's why you tell yourself, I'll start in 5 minutes. But 5 minutes becomes 5 hours. And here's the truth. Procrastination isn't failure, weakness, or laziness. It's your brain trying to protect you. The problem is, this protection backfires, keeping you stuck, stressed, and guilty. Today, we're going to uncover the real psychological reason behind procrastination, why it happens to everyone, and the 3 practical steps you can take to stop delaying and finally take control of your life. Trust me, after this video, your mornings, work, and motivation will never be the same. The psychological reason behind procrastination isn't laziness, and it's not a flaw in your personality. Your brain is literally wired to avoid discomfort and chase instant rewards. When you face a task that feels difficult, boring, or overwhelming, your brain sees it as a threat and tries to protect you by running toward anything that delivers instant dopamine. Scrolling social media, checking messages, snacking, or daydreaming. That's why you tell yourself, I'll start in 5 minutes. And suddenly 5 minutes becomes 3 hours. Here's the kicker. Procrastination makes you feel guilty, stressed, and anxious, which ironically makes starting even harder. Every time you try to force yourself, your brain creates even more resistance because it's trying to protect you from the discomfort. That's why even smart, disciplined people procrastinate. It's not weakness, it's biology. The good news? You can hack this system. You don't need willpower or to be a morning superhero. You can train your brain, step by step, to start tasks without stress and beat the procrastination loop. In the next minutes, I'll reveal the real psychological secrets behind procrastination and show you 3 practical, science-backed steps anyone can use to stop delaying and finally take control of their time, energy, and life. Here's the real reason your brain hates starting tasks: discomfort. Your brain doesn't care if the task is easy or hard. It only cares about how it feels. A boring spreadsheet, an essay, or a work report triggers the same mental alarm your brain would activate if you were in danger. That's why you feel anxious, stressed, or distracted before you even start. And here's the trick. Your brain prefers short-term pleasure over long-term reward. Watching a funny video or scrolling Instagram gives instant dopamine, while starting work feels like pain. This is called the discomfort trap. The more you avoid it, the stronger the habit becomes. You feel guilty, stressed, and frustrated, but your brain is just doing its job. The solution isn't beating your brain, it's outsmarting it. By tricking your brain into small wins and dopamine hits, you can start tasks without stress. That's the psychology behind why procrastination is universal. It's your brain protecting you. Badly. Later, I'll give 3 science-backed steps to escape this trap completely. Step 1 to beat procrastination. Break big tasks into micro steps. Your brain freaks out when it sees a giant project. Writing a 10-page report, baking a cake, cleaning your entire room, it all looks impossible. So instead of thinking, I have to do everything, break it down. One small step at a time. For example, write 1 paragraph. Sweep 1 corner. Answer 1 email. Each micro step gives your brain a dopamine hit and tells it, this is easy, I can do this. Suddenly, your brain stops resisting. You start moving, momentum builds, and before you know it, the giant task is halfway done. Small wins stack up, creating motivation. That's why this step works even if you have zero willpower. Your brain loves instant gratification. Use it to your advantage. Once you start micro steps, procrastination loses its power. Step 2 is called the 2-minute rule from Atomic Habits. The idea is simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Not tomorrow, not after a coffee. Now. This hacks your brain's need for instant reward. Starting a task is often the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum takes over. Even if the task is bigger, tell yourself, I'll work for 2 minutes only. Most of the time, you'll continue after those 2 minutes because starting triggers dopamine and reduces resistance. Washing one dish, writing one sentence, answering one email. This tiny action makes your brain feel accomplished and motivates it to keep going. The 2-minute rule is magic for procrastinators because it transforms overwhelming into doable. You'll feel like a hero every day without exhausting your willpower. And here's the bonus. Over time, your brain rewires itself to start tasks automatically. Procrastination shrinks, productivity grows, and your stress melts away. This is one of the fastest ways to reclaim control over your time and life. Step 3 is all about rewards. Your brain is motivated by dopamine, so give it what it wants, but the right way. After completing a small step or micro task, reward yourself. Stretch, take a short walk, grab a coffee, or scroll Instagram for 5 minutes. Not too long, just enough for dopamine. This teaches your brain that doing tasks equals pleasure, not pain. The magic? Your brain starts associating productivity with reward instead of stress. Eventually, starting a task triggers motivation instead of avoidance. Even tiny celebrations like checking a box or saying, "I did it," works. These small wins stack up into a sense of achievement, making you feel unstoppable. Combining micro steps, plus the 2-minute rule, plus rewards, creates a procrastination-proof system. Suddenly, the tasks you used to avoid feel doable, fun, and satisfying. Your brain stops seeing work as a threat and starts seeing it as opportunity. That's the secret psychologists use on top performers. They hack their brain's natural chemistry instead of fighting it. Here's a hard truth. Motivation is a liar. People wait for it, but it disappears fast. You might wake up inspired, but by 11 a.m., it's gone. That's why relying on motivation alone to beat procrastination is pointless. Habits, small wins, and brain hacks are permanent. Motivation is just the cherry on top, not the foundation. Think about it. Every successful person starts tasks even when they don't feel like it. That's because they have systems, not motivation. Micro steps, 2-minute rule, rewards, they're like autopilot. Motivation comes second. Your brain doesn't wait for feelings. It reacts to actions. That's why the secret to beating procrastination isn't trying harder or being more disciplined. It's designing a system your brain can't resist. Once you understand this, procrastination stops being a mystery. It becomes predictable, manageable, and beatable. Procrastination creates guilt, and guilt creates stress. And stress makes procrastination worse. It's a vicious loop. Every time you delay, your brain says, "I know I should start," which activates anxiety. Anxiety triggers avoidance, which delays the task more, which increases guilt. Round and round. But here's the twist. Guilt is your brain's way of signaling awareness. It's not punishment, it's feedback. Once you know that, you stop hating yourself and start acting strategically. Micro steps plus 2-minute rule plus rewards break the loop. Start small, feel a win, reward yourself, and guilt diminishes. You're literally retraining your emotional system. Over time, procrastination stops being scary. Guilt becomes a guide instead of a cage. That's why top performers rarely feel paralyzed by tasks. They've hacked their brain's emotional system. Your environment either fights or supports you. Open tabs, phone notifications, snacks, messy desk, all distractions. Top procrastination killers remove distractions and create triggers for work. Put your phone on silent, hide apps, clear your desk, or set a timer. Even a clean workspace reduces resistance. Use visual cues like sticky notes with micro steps to remind your brain what to do. Some people use workspace only for work rule. Others use music or white noise to focus. Your environment tells your brain this is productivity zone. It's easier to start a task when your surroundings reinforce the behavior. Science proves it. External cues shape habits, sometimes stronger than willpower. Combine micro steps, 2-minute rule, rewards, and environment hacks, and your brain starts associating work with ease instead of struggle. Suddenly, starting is no longer a battle. Most procrastination comes from your phone. Social media, notifications, endless content. It hijacks your attention. Your brain craves dopamine, and scrolling delivers instantly. The fix? Digital detox windows, especially during your most productive hours. Start with 30 to 60 minutes of no phone. Your brain learns that you can survive without constant stimulation. Bonus? When you check your phone afterward, it feels like a reward. Combine this with micro steps and 2-minute rule, and your focus skyrockets. Your day becomes yours instead of algorithms controlling it. Even small windows matter. Over time, these periods train your brain to tolerate boring or challenging tasks, which is exactly what procrastination fights against. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything. Start with water, quick movement, a micro-step task, and a reward. Skip the phone for the first 30 minutes. Plan 3 priorities using micro-steps. Complete the first step immediately. Each morning you follow this, your brain associates starting with success and dopamine. Momentum builds. Tasks feel easier. Resistance fades. This is why people who procrastinate less often have structured mornings. You can hack your biology before the world even wakes up. The combination of intentional action plus small rewards plus structured environment gives you unstoppable focus for the entire day. Sometimes procrastination isn't laziness, it's fear. Fear of failure, judgment, or imperfection. The key? Start imperfectly. Take one micro step, do it badly, and reward yourself. Perfectionism triggers the same discomfort your brain hates. By starting imperfectly, your brain experiences progress instead of threat. Each step reduces anxiety, increases confidence, and teaches your brain tasks are safe. Over time, you rewire your emotional response. You stop overthinking, stop delaying, and start acting. Micro steps plus 2-minute rule plus rewards plus environment hacks plus imperfect start equals total procrastination defeat system. Even the best systems fail if stress is too high. Procrastination spikes under fatigue or overwhelm. The reset? Quick mental breaks. 2 to 5 minutes of stretching, breathing, or stepping outside. These resets reduce cortisol, calm your brain, and recharge focus. Combine this with micro steps for tasks, and you'll notice productivity skyrocket. Brain chemistry changes. Dopamine increases, stress decreases, resistance drops. That's why top performers schedule short breaks. They avoid mental fatigue while keeping momentum. The better you manage your energy, the less procrastination controls you. Visualization is more than hype. Mentally seeing yourself completing tasks triggers similar brain patterns as actually doing them. Picture finishing your report, sending that email, cleaning your room, or finishing your assignment. Feel the satisfaction, the relief, the dopamine. This primes your brain to start, reduces stress, and increases focus. Combine visualization with micro steps, 2-minute rule and rewards, and you have a full neurological hack against procrastination. Your brain starts craving completion instead of avoiding it. When you visualize success first, procrastination loses its grip. Your brain now sees action as reward, not threat. So let's wrap it up. Procrastination is universal. It's your brain protecting you from discomfort. But you now know the secrets. 1. Micro steps. Break tasks into tiny actions. 2. 2-minute rule. Just start, even for 2 minutes. 3. Reward wins. Give dopamine for small successes. Add environmental hacks, digital detox, morning routines, imperfect starts, and visualization, and procrastination becomes manageable. You now control your brain instead of your brain controlling you. Here's your challenge. Pick one big task today. Break it into micro steps. Start with 2 minutes, reward yourself, and repeat. Comment below which step you'll start first, and watch how it changes your day. If you follow this system for 1 week, you'll notice tasks you used to avoid now feel doable, motivating, and satisfying. Procrastination isn't a personality flaw, it's a habit, and habits can be hacked. Take control today, and your life will thank you tomorrow.